Hello and welcome back to the 45th episode of my still unnamed survival series. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers to this channel and a lot of new people watching, some of which haven't subscribed. So to those of you who don't know me, my name is Red Skies. We aren't going to be sticking around in the village for too long today. We're going to be swimming about in the swamps. So put on your muck boots and some waterproof pants because we've got some frogs to find. This is pretty much everything that I'm packing to find some frogs. Some extra elytra, a lot of rockets, and some boats to actually capture them. I don't really know where frogs spawn. I'm pretty sure they spawn in swamps, but there's a few different types of swamps now. I'm not sure if only one type of swamp spawns one type of frog, or if one type of swamp spawns all the frogs. So that's something we're gonna be exploring. I forgot some lead. Okay, now let's go explore the swamps. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, so the magical swamp right outside of my base does spawn frogs. So far, I've only been seeing these orange ones spawn here, so I think it is a type of frog per type of swamp, which makes sense. But eventually, I want all the types of frogs. I'm not entirely sure how to breed these, but I don't think they're like the allays. I think we actually need 2 frogs to breed them. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up at least one more of these orange guys and pile them in the boat. Oh, look at him, so cute. There's nothing behind those eyes. Let's get these 2 hoppity little lads in the water and back to the village. I don't actually know what we're gonna do with them. We might keep them in boats for a little while. Eventually, I'd like to make a zoo with all the native animals of Minecraft, including the warden. But for now, I'll probably make them a little pen like the allays, with whatever they need to breed. Hey, I can see the windmill. We're just pulling into Guardian Lake, and I'm now realizing I probably should have brought a bed. Ow! Okay, we gotta quickly make it back to the village. We're finally getting close to the village. You hear that, little buddies? You're about home. Little buddies? Where'd you go? No! Alright, take 2. We're gonna be taking the same path, and hopefully these guys don't vanish again. Get in the boat, good sir. These fellas were a little bit further away from the village this time, so more of a chance for them to disappear and or die on the way back. So we're gonna have to be extra careful and keep our eye on them. You killed my frogs! Vengeance! Maybe he didn't kill my frogs. Maybe they just escaped. We've made it back to the village with our frogs perfectly alive. But I think we're gonna leave them in those boats for a while and maybe throw some name tags on them. Thank you, good librarian. I have no idea where the other frog went, but we're just gonna name you Frog 1 and Frog 2. Where did that other frog go? I guess it doesn't matter, but we are gonna go out again and look for another type of swamp to find another type of frog. We found a mangrove swamp a couple episodes ago, so I think we're gonna go back in that direction and try and find it again. I don't think this is the same mangrove swamp, but it is a mangrove swamp, so we're gonna stay here and try and find some frogs. I've been running around in these roots for a really long time, and I still haven't found anything. This is also a really large mangrove swamp. I don't really think that I want to leave here without finding a frog, so I'm gonna stay here indefinitely. Maybe make a bed, maybe make a little hut if, ooh, maybe grab that. Ah! I forgot you needed silk touch. Oh no, that's a dead end. Ooh, they're still following me. These things are aggressive. Ooh, is that what I think it is? That is. Are they still following me? We gotta protect the frog. I guess we're fighting the bees. Oh, they're passive. Cool, we found a frog and we're safe from the bees. Let's put him in a boat. Get in there. Yeah, no. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna name tag him and then lead him back home. Jeb. I was kind of hoping he went rainbow. Oh man, it's gonna take forever to get out of the swamp. After a good 15 minutes of trying to escape the swamp, we are finally out in open water, but we have about 2,300 blocks to go. We still have a long way to go to deliver this frog safely. Well, we got a lot of land to cover, and that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. This journey is pretty much over by ways of water, so we're just gonna be pulling across the land with a lead. Hey, that went pretty quick. As painful as it was, we are almost back to the village. Might need to find a workaround to get all the way over there, because I don't think this river actually connects to Guardian Lake. It definitely didn't. So we're just gonna pull them through the plains and just dump them in the lake, I guess. I've got all three of our froggy fellas back at the same place, but unfortunately, they need to go to the other side of the village, and I am definitely not carrying them through the village. There's a lot of things they can get caught on, and that honestly just sounds like a pain. So I think we're just gonna boat them all the way around the village and connect up with that little section where we brought the allays into the village as well. Unfortunately, we do need to take the long way through the Guardian Deltas. This will pop us out right in front of the mega base, and then we'll have to go around the peninsula with the village on it, and then make our way back to our home village. This journey is a lot longer by boat than by air. I should probably build some underground ice path and elevators just for this exact scenario. Project for another day. We've made it all the way around the village, and now it's time to pull all three frogs from the water and set them safely on the land. I've got my froggy fellows in a place where I am pretty happy with them. So I think I'm gonna build a glass cage around their location and try and figure out how to breed them. After a few speedy searches of the Google, I've learned that they breed by eating slime, but they also need water close by. One of them is going to lay eggs in the water, and those eggs are then going to hatch into tadpoles. And from there, the tadpoles just grow up into frogs. Makes sense. But now we need a pen that suits all of their needs to keep them happy and healthy. We've made a pretty small pen for these guys, but this should be just enough for them to breed and be happy. I'm hoping that we can breed these guys and get some other colors of frogs. It seems like the color of the frog is purely determined on where they're born, so we'll probably only get orange frogs. We got the gray frog from the mangrove swamp and the orange ones from the magical swamp. I'm pretty sure if we breed these two, we're still gonna end up with orange frogs, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. I've gone ahead and renamed these frogs just because I want to keep them in a zoo and make them feel welcomed. We've got Jeffrey, Cassandra, and Louie. We've also got some slime balls to give these guys. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we want. So frogs, similar to the way turtles act, they should breed and then go to a specific location to lay eggs. And this is exactly what those eggs look like. That's actually a pretty cool texture. After a little while, these should hatch up and turn into tadpoles. Those tadpoles should stay in the water. So now I'm gonna wait for a little bit and see if they can hatch into tadpoles. Oh my gosh, look at that. We've got some baby tadpoles. They're adorable. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I love how Minecraft's adding all these new animals. I think we're gonna leave the frogs and tadpoles alone for a little while and start work on something else. We really need to work on our storage system, and we're completely out of redstone. So I'm gonna spend a couple hours grinding away at our villager trading hall, buying up some redstone and lapis lazuli, and build up a nice little collection of redstone dust. We need a lot of redstone components, and all of those use redstone dust. By the time this is over, we're definitely gonna be out of emeralds, so we need to revamp our raid farm eventually, because that stopped working with 1.19. When I make the room for it, I definitely need to upgrade my villager trading hall. I use these guys a lot, and I don't have very many of them. I think eventually I'm gonna make a huge colossal church and get at least 30 of these clerics. I've got a lot of plans for this world and for the future, and we're gonna get to all of them sometime, slowly but surely. But for now, we are going to hop into our abandoned mine and go slime hunting. I've kind of turned that into my quasi slime farm for now. This is the first mine that we ever made in this world, and I have no idea why I put it out in the middle of the ocean. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and it worked out well, I think. This ended up being right in the middle of 3 slime chunks. Eventually, we might turn this into a slime farm, an actual slime farm, but for now, I think we're just gonna keep hacking and slashing in this rudimentary slime farm. We've got the slime, but not the stone. We need a lot of cobblestone for all of these redstone components. So I'm gonna go AFK at our stone generator and get a whole bunch of cobblestone. Yep, just mining cobblestone. And this is what we got. We've got all of these slime blocks, these sticky pistons, all of this redstone, and all of these redstone components. A few of these observers were left over from the last time we made a lot of redstone components, but most of these, just from today. Now that I have all the redstone components I need, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the bottom section of our sorting system. We ended up having to do sections of 3 for the actual sorting system. The water lines were just too fast and pushing too many items through, and it ended up overloading systems of 1. And that's what we did on the very end, was systems of 1. So we need to upgrade those to systems of 3, and then put in some shulkerbox loaders. First thing we gotta do is fill in every other section between these and turn them into the systems of 3. These are tileable systems, so it won't be an issue. The droppers are going to push the items into a water stream, and then that water stream is going to get fed into a shulkerbox loading system. Each section of 3 is going to be one singular item, just so the sorting system itself doesn't get overloaded. We've got our observers in, and now we need a place to put the comparators. The comparators are gonna read out of the hoppers and shoot signal directly into these sticky pistons. And those sticky pistons are gonna activate this observer clock. This whole system down to the bottom is basically an ejection system that works silently. It will only activate when it senses an item inside of the system. It's honestly a really cool little contraption, and it's one of my favorite pieces of redstone. But now on the top, we need to build an item filter directly above it. I've got the filters in place, and now we need to build the water lines and the shulkerbox loading system. For the next little module, we really only need 6, but I think I'm gonna build all of them out just so I don't have to later on. I think building these up like a little 3D printer instead of one at a time works a little better, so we're gonna do it that way. This is what we're gonna be building up next. These little water lines in front of these systems. This is gonna funnel everything from this module directly into the shulkerbox loader. All 3 of these dispensers are gonna be spitting out the same item, so we're just gonna merge them into one water line. Always making sure to light things up, because it would be a real shame if a creeper blew up this system. I spent a lot of time on this, and I really don't want to rebuild it. We gotta encase this whole thing in glass. This is a no-loss system, but I still want to see everything inside of these water tubes. Getting a good look at the systems and the way that they work is gonna ensure that you have a no-loss system. When you can see everything functioning properly, you don't have any worries. This is one of the main reasons why I try and build all of my redstone systems with glass. When working with water and water lines, one of the things that I try and do is prevent any water damage to any system. This is one of the major reasons why I always try and build my redstone systems 1 block above ground level. That way the water will always have somewhere to go, and it won't just completely obliterate any redstone components I have lying on the ground. Because they're not lying on the ground, they're 1 up. The water has somewhere to go. Mistakes happen a lot when working with redstone, and I always try and make sure one mistake doesn't ruin the whole project. We are gonna need a small water elevator at the end of each water line to bring the items up and into the shulkerbox loader. The shulkerbox loader isn't that big of a redstone system, but I am gonna build it off the ground just for water damage. Better safe than sorry. I haven't placed the water elevators in yet. I think I want to build the shulkerbox loader beforehand. That way we can just put the water in and it's already connected to the final system. So right here we're building the input for the shulkerbox loading system. The hopper needs to be facing out towards it, so we're just placing some soul sand to place off of. This hopper is going to go directly into a shulkerbox, and then the whole system is going to be built around that empty space. I'm now building up the small little frame of the shulkerbox loading system. All of the redstone components need something to sit on, and that's exactly what this is. We've got the stone bricks to be where they need to be, and now we need to place glass on the back side of these 2 blocks. This is where the shulkerbox is gonna sit, and I still want to be able to see the shulkerbox. I still want to have a spot where I can access it and see if it's filled with what I want it to be filled with. It's also a great way to check if our system is broken and see if we need to completely recheck any system inside one specific module. Now we can finally start placing in the redstone, like these pistons. I didn't realize this at the time, but these probably should have been normal pistons and not sticky pistons. I'm not actually sure if this will break the system or if it'll still work. I never really tested it, but all of these sticky pistons might need replaced with normal pistons, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's an easy mistake to make. I've thrown in some of the other redstone components like the observers and all of the redstone torches. Now we're putting in the comparators, which need to be in subtract mode. This means we also need a secondary redstone power source, which is going to be the redstone block. We're using blocks here, not torches or anything else, because it's a solid block and will prevent the shulker box from dropping out of the sides. We're always going to collect that shulker box. I've gone ahead and put in the dispensers, and we also need to put buttons on the back of these. This is to prime the system before it actually starts to work. The shulker box loaders with the buttons are actually done. Now we just need to put in the water lines and the water elevator leading into it, and this will be a pretty well working system. I'm now putting in the water lines and the water elevators inside of this system. We have to block off the tube first, then put the ice in so it creates a stream leading to the hopper, break the block, all the water will fall down. Then we need to replace that dirt with soul sand after we make all the water solid blocks, and we're going to achieve this by using kelp. Kelp is one of the most useful redstone tools when making water lines. It turns any block of water that isn't considered a full block of water into a full block of water by placing it in it. That sounded kind of complicated, but trust me, it's not. The way we're going to achieve this is just by growing the kelp inside of the tube. Easy peasy, nothing to it. And now that we've got solid blocks of water in the tube, we don't need the dirt anymore, so we need to replace that with soul sand. This is going to create a bubble column and finish out our bubble elevator. We do need to put a little roof on it just so this bubble elevator isn't spewing out items all over the place. We want this to be a zero loss system, and this is pretty important to achieve that. We also need to finish out the water lines for the shulker box return system. This is going to refuel each shulker box loading system with more shulker boxes. We have a shulker box unloading system in the front that separates items from shulker boxes. That feeds directly into this line and the filter line. So in theory, it should automatically replenish itself. Now that we have built all of the shulker box loading systems, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up every single one with shulker boxes. We have an extensive amount of shulker shells ever since we built that shulker box farm. That has definitely given us an extraordinary amount of shulker shells. Just look at this. This is one shulker box and two. I don't think we're ever gonna need any more shulker shells than this, but I'm gonna keep running that farm because this is just absolutely insane. That farm works so well, but we're gonna go ahead and grab a lot of these and start making shulker boxes. One of these shulker box loading systems holds 25 shulker boxes, one being loaded and 24 in holding. That is quite a bit of shulker boxes in total to fill up this side of the system, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill them all up. Oh man, there's a lot. Now that all of these systems are filled, we need to prime them. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the button, eject a shulker box, and that will prime the systems. This side of the redstone sorting system is just about completely done. We still need to build a couple more storefronts, and then we'll start on this side and build out the rest of them. This is by no means a storage system for every possible item in Minecraft, just the ones that I use the most. Definitely need a place for wood, and that's probably gonna be on the other side. Eventually, I would like a storage system for every possible item, but that is definitely not this. This is just for bulk items. I think we're gonna be done with the redstone for today. I would like to go check on my frogs, so I grabbed a couple more stacks of slime balls, and I want to see how those tadpoles are doing. We've been in the village the entire time, so they should have grown up by now. That turned out exactly how I thought it would. They're all orange. I don't want orange frogs. I would like multicolored frogs. So we're gonna go ahead and breed them up one more time and just leave them be. We've done a lot today, and I think we've done enough. We've added a lot to our redstone systems and added 3 new friends to the village. We've also boated a whole heck of too much. That I don't ever want to touch a boat again. But I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, share, subscribe. But as always, My name is Red Skies, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's new intro style. I think I'm gonna be doing that for pretty much all of the videos now. I really like it. But as always, if you have any tips or tricks for using DaVinci Resolve or video editing in general, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your opinion.